Lyndon Johnson had involved America in two wars at once, the war in Vietnam and the war on poverty. Civil rights successes in the South and Johnson's Great Society promises had raised the expectations of the poor. But minority residents of Watts, Bedford-Stuyvesant, Chicago's South Side, and 100 other poverty-stricken urban neighborhoods continued to struggle against unfair odds. Inadequate schools, inflated retail prices, and conspiracies by realtors and bankers to keep blacks from moving into white neighborhoods. When the civil rights struggle came north, it left behind the tightly organized grassroots leadership that had defeated the Jim Crow laws. In the North, there were more complicated economic problems to overcome.
Oh, you have to have your children out here starving with nothing to eat, and you can't even get a job. Now, you just tell me, I mean, what's right?
Black people don't own Harlem, so who gives a damn whether Harlem burns down or not? How you gonna tell me to love this property that exploits me every day when the average black man in Harlem works the first Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for a landlord? And on Thursday, he's working for Con Edison. And on Friday, he works for himself. And he's got the day off on Saturday, and he buys him a drink of liquor, and the minute he gets drunk, then a white policeman arrests him, takes him in a white court, and takes his money for 2 other weeks, and he goes in debts for the rest. And he goes to a white landlord, goes to a white pawn shop, or else he goes to another white loan shark to keep living on credit, to pay off the white man, and he's paying taxes and profits and vacation pay for white people. So the average black man ain't got nothing to lose by anything that he does. And this is what the white man better understand.
To many who lived here, these inner-city neighborhoods seemed like colonies, patrolled by white policemen who acted more like soldiers of an occupying army than upholders of law and order.
Because we have seen the pigs on the scene. We know what he's like. We know what he's capable of. Just being a damn pig, oinking and beating and walking the streets. I'm sick of these damn pigs walking our streets.
Out in the neighborhoods, the police were getting more resistance. Policing a ghetto neighborhood where people had been subservient, now people were standing up to police officers, asserting their rights, talking back. And for many older police officers, this was a new problem. Why don't they behave the way they always did? You know, police officer says, don't do that now. And now they were calling police officer Whitey.
We're gonna make Vietnam look like a holiday. Hey! Lord, you know these cities are burning. All over the USA. Yes, these cities are burning now. All over the USA. Yes, you know, if these white folks don't settle up pretty soon, we all gonna wake up in Judgment Day.
If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. Should you try to pretend that I'm crazy because I want America to be saved? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity?
Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
From 1964 through 1967, there were 164 inner-city rebellions, from Minneapolis to Tampa, from Boston to Los Angeles. All told, 83 people were killed, almost all of them black, shot or beaten to death by police trying to maintain law and order. Almost 30,000 were arrested. And millions, black and white, saw the smoke and heard the fire engines from their bedroom windows. Most of America had one concern. When was the government going to put an end to it?
If our department get here shortly, they'll try. Hopefully they'll succeed, because next to this block of buildings is now burning a gasoline station.
It was scary. It was scary to watch on television. It was scary to know it was happening. It was scary to know that people were reverting to random violence on their own neighbor's property just because they were so frustrated and so angry that that was the only way they could get it out. There's no solution for something like that. The political process doesn't address that level of emotionalism and that level of anger. And it seemed like the government didn't know what to do either. And that was really scary.
Well, if there's going to be another riot, I want to be prepared. And let me tell you one thing. You better not show his face in front of my house, because if it means my own life, I'd shoot him. Fear is fear, and when you get fear into you, you'll do anything. And I know what fear we had when we look up in the sky and see the sky all illuminated. It wasn't very pleasant.
Last year was pretty bad. I've been thinking about arming myself, my wife. You know, my father, he lives next door to me. He's armed, and I know several other people who've taken the trouble to go and buy a gun. If the city or the government can't stop it, then there's going to be a little trouble in the suburbs or with normal people.
So you didn't miss my